Hello everyone. Well, for today's video, I thought I would do the 50 goofy questions tag, since I watched a video that basically tagged everyone in the known universe. So I assumed that included me. So let's get started. The first one is, what time did you get up this morning? Well, this is Saturday, so I slept in this morning. Normally I get up around 6 to 6:30. This day I actually slept in till about 9 o'clock, and it was wonderful. Question 2. How do you like your steak? I usually like my steak cooked medium rare, and I think that gives the best balance between a nice charred outside and a nice soft inside. Question 3. What was the last film you saw at the cinema? I'm trying to think back. I know that I saw Elysium, which was pretty good. And I'm trying to think if I saw anything after that. I saw most of the big summer movies this year, but I think Elysium was the last one that I saw. It was pretty good. What is your favorite TV show? Question number 4. Well, right now I am working my way through Fringe on Netflix, so I'm really enjoying that show. But if you had to say favorite TV show of all time, probably would be Arrested Development. Question number 5. If you could live anywhere in the world, where would it be? Well, my first instinct is to answer this with the place I live right now. I couldn't really imagine living anywhere else. I really love it here. But if I had to pick someplace else other than here, probably somewhere in England. What did you have for breakfast? I had a banana that was just about ready to go bad, but it was still very good. Rather soft, but good. What is your favorite cuisine? My favorite cuisine is Indian food, especially hot and spicy. I love lamb vindaloo. I believe that is my absolute favorite dish of all time. But pretty much any type of Indian food, that had to be my favorite. But there are many close runners-up. What foods do you dislike? I do not like celery, and I also do not like fresh mint. Fresh mint leaves. I was eating a cake one time that had mint leaves around the edge, and I bit into one of those, and it was one of the most disgusting flavors that I've ever tasted. Just had this visceral reaction to it. I did not like it. So I usually avoid things that have an authentic mint flavor to them. Fake mint, I'm fine with. Question number 9. Favorite place to eat? There are so many good restaurants in the town that I live in. It is hard to pick just one. There are several very nice, kind of like date night restaurants, I guess you would say, where you go out to eat for a special occasion, that I enjoy. There is also a little place around the corner from where I work that serves Thai food. They have an amazing pad Thai, so I love eating there as well. I would have to say there are too many to really say there is a clear favorite. you could go out and eat at a new restaurant every day in this town and not repeat for a month or more. Question 10. Favorite dressing? I assume this means like salad dressing, and it would have to be blue cheese, although ranch would follow up a close second. I'm currently taking salads for my lunch at work, and I'm actually using a French dressing, which is nice. It's a nice change of pace because sometimes the ranch or the blue cheese is really heavy. So I'm switching it up with a little bit lighter dressings at the moment. What kind of vehicle do you drive? I have an old Acura Legend that I drive. It was given to me by my wife's aunt just before she went into the hospital, and that's what I've been driving. It is from sometime in the 90s, so it's many years old, but she hardly drove it, and so it's still in fairly good shape. It's just now starting to show its age. What are your favorite clothes? I enjoy wearing dress shirts without a tie, although I can wear a tie if I need to. And that's usually what I wear to work, dress shirt and dress pants. I lived in Florida for a while, and everyone there insisted on wearing jeans all the time in this particular small town in Florida. And it was either long jeans or jean shorts. And where I moved from, even if you went out to like do grocery shopping or something, you at least put on a collared shirt, like a polo shirt, and like khakis. So those are the clothes that I brought down there. And everyone kept asking me where the meeting was and why it was so formal, why I was dressed so formally. So I broke down and bought some jeans and t-shirts and tried to fit in, but I didn't like it very much. So now, the city I live in, it is much more common to see someone wearing khakis and a polo shirt than it is to see them wearing a t-shirt and jeans. So I think I fit in a little bit better here. So that would be my favorite attire to wear all the time. I know, pretty boring, right? Where would you visit if you had the chance? There's so many different places I would like to visit. I've been to England twice. Absolutely loved it. Would love to go back. But if it was a place I hadn't been before, I would have to say probably Italy, to just see the culture and the people there. I think I would find great inspiration from Italy. And then probably next after that would be Germany, and the kind of the Swiss Alps part of Germany into the Switzerland, all that mountain range there. Question 14. Is the cup half empty or half full? I'm definitely a half full type of person. I think I try to find the positive side of most situations instead of the negative side. It's not that I don't see the negative side, but I choose to express or emphasize the positive side to kind of balance out any pessimism. Where would you want to retire? Like I said, where we live now is pretty cool. I could see myself retiring here. Other than that, possibly England. I don't know how good it would be to retire there, but I think that was something you could explore. Favorite time of the day? Say my favorite time of the day is the morning. I love getting up early, getting things done, and getting them checked off my list before like 10 o'clock. And then I have the rest of the day to relax and do what I need to do. That's it. Where were you born? Question 17. I was born in Cincinnati, Ohio, but we lived right across the river in Covington, Kentucky. So technically Cincinnati, but in all practicality, Covington, Kentucky. What is your favorite sport to watch? Question 18. I really enjoy watching American football. I like the strategy of it. I like watching the offense and the defense play against each other at the same time, and the physicality of it. Who do you think will not tag you back? Most of the videos that I've watched about this have had real difficulty with this question, and I agree with them. Question 20. Person you expect to tag you back first. See question 19. Question 21. Who were you most curious about their response to this? I would say pretty much anybody who took the time to sit down and do this quiz. I would be interested in seeing what their responses were. Bird watcher, question mark. Question 22. I enjoy birds. I would not consider myself a bird watcher. I probably am much more of a bird listener. I love hearing the different sounds of the birds, but I do not sit and particularly look for them. Are you a morning person or a night person? Would say I am both. I can get up in the morning and get things done, but I also like to stay up late at night, usually not try to go to bed until around 12 o'clock, now that I'm an old guy. When I was in my 20s and 30s, I would routinely stay up till 2, 3 in the morning, and then get up at 6:30 without a problem, but can't quite do that so much anymore. So late for me is now midnight. Do you have any pets? Question 24. We do have some pets. We have 2 turtles and some crabs in an aquarium or a terrarium type thing. It's like got a waterfall that goes through and some rocks, and it's rather large. We also have some fish in there. Question 25. Any new or exciting news that you would like to share? Well, there is some new and exciting news, but I am not allowed to share it yet. Something that I find very exciting. Hopefully, I will be able to share it in like a month or so. 26. What did you want to be when you were little? When I was growing up, I first wanted to be a forest ranger when I was very small. And then when I was in my late childhood into junior high, I wanted to be a physicist. I then took physics class and realized the enormous amount of math that was required, and realized that I could not become a physicist. What is your best childhood memory? This is a tough one, because my childhood was okay, but it wasn't great. I mean, my family was wonderful, but my school and friendships and stuff like that was pretty bad. So, I don't know that I have a best childhood memory. Most of my good memories really start around junior high, going into teenage years, when I started making friends and discovering the world. Question 28. Cat or dog person? I've thought about this before, and I think I'm definitely both. Although I do not own a cat or dog, and I would not want to own a cat or dog, because I do not like the idea of an animal roaming around my house when I'm not here, and not knowing what I'm going to come home to find. And if I had a cat or a dog, that would be a problem. I also do not do well cleaning up after animals. So while I like cats and I like dogs, each for their own characteristics, I know myself well enough to know that I would not be having fun, and I don't think the animal would be having fun if I owned them. Question 29. Are you married? Yes, I am married. We just recently had our 17th wedding anniversary, and I'm so happy to be married to her. She is an awesome, awesome woman. Question 30. Always wear your seatbelt? Yes. It's pretty much an ingrained habit now. I don't even think about it. Question 31. Been in a car accident? Yes, I've been in 2 major car accidents since my adulthood. When I was a kid, one time we slid off an icy road, and one time my mom lost control of the car and drove up into a field, but those are all just on empty country roads. When I was a teenager, we were in the hills of Tennessee, and traffic was stopped because of an accident. And a huge tour bus for some band had lost its brakes and was flying down the edge of the road, going very fast because it couldn't stop. And there was a van full of people on the side of the road, and the car that I was riding in the back seat was right beside this van. Well, in order to not hit the van full on, the bus driver split the difference between the car I was in and the van, and propelled its way through the middle of traffic for another good quarter mile. When the bus came to a stop, because the bus driver in the tour bus is up above the engine, the place where he was sitting was actually over air, because the bottom of the bus had been pushed back behind where he was sitting. Amazingly, no one was killed in that accident. People had whiplash. The people who were in the van definitely had to go to the hospital. But as far as I know, no one died. And I had my head down. I was flipping through some CDs, getting ready to change them out in my CD player when it hit. So I was not prepared for it at all. And the acceleration was faster than any roller coaster I've ever been on. And I could feel the presence of the bus over my right shoulder because it crushed in the trunk of the car and pushed the back seat up. And I just had this a massive, huge presence over my right shoulder and this massive acceleration. And then it was over. We were pushed off to the side. The second accident I was in was I was in traffic, stopped at a light, and some kids were talking to each other, not paying attention, and just ran full force into the back of my car. Luckily, it happened in front of an IHOP, and there was about 5 cops standing out in the parking lot and saw the whole thing. So that was very nice. Again, it wasn't a terrible accident, but it was definitely, the car had to be repaired. I got shook up a little bit. Question 32. Any pet peeves? There's things that definitely annoy me. Probably finding out that you lied to me would be up there. Practical jokes, I do not understand, and I do not like them. And anyone who tries to pull a practical joke on me is someone who doesn't know me very well. I just don't have that kind of tolerance for it. And I think that has a lot to do with my childhood. Question 33. Favorite pizza topping? There are so many good ones. It is hard to pick just one. I like mushrooms and onions and cheese. That's a nice pizza. I also like absolutely everything you could throw onto a pizza on it as well. I've even had some good anchovies on a pizza, although I would not say they were my favorite. I would have to say the cheese. If you don't have the cheese, it's not a pizza. So I don't know if that's cheating or not, but that's my answer. Question 34. Favorite flower? Can't say I've ever thought of having a favorite flower. I can tell you my least favorite flower as far as smell is the rose. Just don't like the smell of roses. We have this beautiful flower that grows out by our fence. It just kind of volunteered and started growing. And when it opens up, it looks like red fireworks. The petals are very thin and red, and the black stamens just explode out of it. And the petals are kind of wavy. It's amazing. I really like that flower, but I have no idea what it's called. Favorite ice cream? Anything with caramel in it is my favorite ice cream. Not a big fan of nuts, but like a vanilla ice cream mixed with caramel stripes, maybe some chocolate in there. Absolutely amazing. Favorite fast food restaurant? I like Zaxby's a lot. I will usually get their buffalo blue salad and their insane sauce and pour the insane sauce on the salad and then put the blue cheese dressing on. And it's very, very spicy, very nice. And that's what comes to mind. How many times did you fail your driver's test? 0. I took a class from a guy who taught me on the course where I would be taking the driver's test. So I actually learned the course itself, and that helped tremendously. From whom did you get your last email? I got my last email from signing up on a forum and it replying back to verify my email address. Fairly mundane. Which store would you choose to max out your credit card? Well, first, I do not have credit cards anymore, and I sleep better at night because of it. We used to max out our credit card when we were in our 20s, and then realized why we didn't have any money. So we paid them all off and have not had credit cards in the last 7 years. But if I did have one, I would probably go to the Apple store and max it out. Do anything spontaneous lately? Yes. I purchased an anniversary gift for my wife very spontaneously. I saw that it was available, and within a half hour I had purchased it, and that's usually not like me. I usually like to research things before I buy them. Like your job? I absolutely love my job. Building websites and doing graphics design is what I've always wanted to do. And now, well, I can't say it's not what I've always wanted to do, because obviously at some point in time I wanted to be a forest ranger and a physicist, but it's what I've wanted to do once I got to the age of being able to seriously figure out what I wanted to do with my life. So I think I decided that it would be a good career choice, I think, my senior year in high school. Broccoli. I'm not sure what this means. I eat broccoli. I like broccoli. I don't love it. I like it raw. I like it cooked with butter and cheese on it. It's not my favorite vegetable, but it's nice. What was your favorite vacation? When we were living in Florida, my wife and I took a second honeymoon to the St. Petersburg area on the Gulf Coast. And this was before the whole oil spill thing. And even though it was a very stressful time in our lives, that vacation was like an oasis of calm. And we saw the Dali Museum there and just chilled and hung out and didn't do much. It was wonderful. The last person you went out to dinner with. Last night, my family went out with a friend of ours' family and their kids, and we went to Five Guys Burgers and had some very delicious hamburgers. Question 45. What are you listening to right now? I assume this means, what is my favorite music right now? What is on my iPod or my iPad? And actually, yesterday I downloaded the new iOS 7, and I've been enjoying the new iTunes Radio. There is a album that I downloaded a few months ago by a band called Cirque, C-I-R-C, and I believe they only put out one album. But it is amazing, and I really have been enjoying it. And I put them into the iTunes Radio and pulled up some very nice techno electronic music that's not too hard driving, frenetic, but nice and peppy. What is your favorite color? My favorite color is school bus yellow. In the Pantone matching system chart, it is color number 1, 2, 3. I like it because it is bright and happy and somewhere in between yellow and orange. How many tattoos do you have? I have 0 tattoos. Although I have heard about people getting things tattooed on their chest as they get older, like explaining how they want to be taken care of or whether they want to be resuscitated, things like that. I think that's a very interesting idea. If I got a tattoo, it would probably be something practical like that. But I'm many years away from even having to think about that. So, how many are you tagging for this quiz? Well, I think I'm probably the last person in the ASMR community to actually do this, so I don't know if there's anybody left to tag. What time did you finish this quiz? I don't know. It's the early afternoon. It's probably about 6 o'clock. Maybe late afternoon. Early evening is what I meant to say. And the last question, number 50, coffee drinker. Nope, I am not a coffee drinker. Tried it a few times, never saw the point of it. I always got my caffeine through Mountain Dew, and I found that a much more pleasant experience. So, and then for a while I drank tea and weaned myself off of the tea, and now I don't do caffeine at all. So these are the 50 goofy questions, and I hope you enjoyed them. I know the answers were probably typical answers for a guy in his 40s, so not particularly exciting. But there you go. That's all I have. So thank you for watching, and please subscribe to my channel. I have many more videos to make for all of you. Bye.